I am a bit all over the place today, but I feel like that's also pretty common for me. It's so fascinating because I'm working on meditating more, and I'm curious if that and just trying to be more focused and aligned with myself is gonna help me, or it's gonna change the fact that I tend to be, my mind kind of is in all these different places. And I don't know, is that something normal? Do you face that as well? I also would love to know your opinion on something. So I believe I've talked about it here, but just in case I haven't or you didn't see me talk about it, I really want to shift the way I've been doing things and actually change or add, is a better description, a new username. It's a little hard to express because I'm still figuring out exactly how that's gonna go. I just feel like I want to move things to my name as opposed to my avatar, whatever the heck you call my username online, which has been Eco Vegan Gal for 10 years. I don't feel as aligned with that anymore. And there have actually been times over the past 10 years where I've felt like Eco Vegan Gal just wasn't the name I wanted to use anymore. And I felt like it just limited me, I guess. Whereas my name, Whitney Lauritsen, is me. So it feels more professional. Honestly, whenever anybody refers to me as Eco Vegan Gal, I'm cringing. I'm like, no, don't call me that. I just don't feel in alignment with it anymore. I feel in alignment with the messaging behind Eco Vegan Gal for the most part, although I feel like some of that's going to change too. So here's what I'd love your opinion on. I need to, or I want to, create some new usernames. I'm going to keep Eco Vegan Gal at least for a good amount of time because I think it still serves a lot of people. It's been around, it's recognized. I just think that I'm going to be doing a lot more content under Whitney Lauritsen. The one downside to my name is that it's 16 characters if you spell out Whitney Lauritsen. And that works everywhere except for Twitter. Twitter only allows you to have usernames that are 15 characters long. And so for a good part of this year, 2018, I have been brainstorming what name I would use instead. And I've experimented with different things like first initial, last name, and like that isn't available everywhere. So there's like two issues, is that one, it has to be the right amount of characters, which again is fine everywhere except Twitter. And it also has to be available on the platform. So I've used some handy tools online that allow you to type in usernames and see if they're available. And the one that I'm thinking of getting is Whit Lauritsen. Now I think I'm gonna go claim that everywhere just in case somebody wants to be cruel and like, why am I even putting this out in the universe? I'm gonna claim that username. I think that it's the right one, but I'm also open to using something different. Although I just don't know what else would work. I thought like, I guess I could have Whitney Lauritsen on every platform except for Twitter, but then I've been a big believer in having the same username on every single platform. And that's why seen as Whit Lauritsen is available everywhere, then I feel like I should just take that. So I have the domain name whitneylauritsen.com, and if you haven't noticed, I direct a lot of traffic there, and I'm kind of phasing out ecovegangal.com. I want to like move all the content to Whitney Lauritsen so that it's still there, or maybe I'll just keep it at ecovegangal.com. Honestly, I don't know. I really am unsure in this moment, and I don't know how I'm going to figure it out, but I would love your opinion on some of these things. So if you're wondering the reason, it's just that it's like a maturity thing. It's an evolution. As I said, I just don't align with the brand name Eco Vegan Gal. I don't even think I want to be considered an influencer anymore. I'll still do influencer type work, but I don't want to like use that. And I actually don't usually, or I don't know, I've barely ever used the term influencer to describe what I do. I call myself a content creator, but even that just feels limiting. I want to be expansive. I want to like really tap into so much more of myself and be clear about who I am. And that's why Whitney Lauritsen just feels right to me. It's my name. That's who I am. So that's the reason. And my plan with Eco Vegan Gal is to like keep all the like channels up, including this one, but create a whole new channel and a whole new Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, everything. Just everything else is new. So the multiple platforms will exist, which means a little bit more work, but I think in the long run, it's going to make more sense. And yeah, just start evolving and doing things a little bit differently. You know, if you're curious what I would do, I think it's probably very similar to what I do here on this channel. I think just the overall Eco Vegan Gal brand, again, it's a name thing, but it's also like, I feel like it's a fresh start. It's a reset. And I want to embrace more of myself and just be more of myself and not be like, I think a lot of people just see me as like the vegan girl or, you know, whatever they see me as. And I just want to drop a lot of those labels, keep doing what I've been doing, but in a more elevated way, I guess is the best way to describe it. So let me know in the comments what you think of the username Whit Lauritsen, and I'll spell it out. I think the only thing is I wish I could just have Whitney in my username, but I also want to have my last name involved. And so I like tried to shorten it and that didn't work. I tried to do the last initial and like it looks weird and I don't think it's available everywhere, like Whitney L. So I tried to use my middle name. Like I've tried a lot of different things and they all just kind of feel awkward. So that's why I'm like, okay, Whit Lauritsen feels like the best thing that I can do aside from Whitney Lauritsen. Decisions. One day I'll look back on this video and laugh whenever I make up my mind and I'll be like, why did that seem so challenging? It was so easy. Looking forward to your feedback on that. I decided to go ahead and register both usernames. Whit Lauritsen is going to be, I'm planning on making, especially after your feedback, but I went and registered Whit Lauritsen everywhere. And then I registered Whitney Lauritsen everywhere except for Twitter. That way I would just have all of those usernames. And it's such an interesting process to like set up new accounts. It's really daunting. I can understand why people get overwhelmed with this process. It's very humbling too, because every time I've created a new account through like my various businesses, it's just so interesting to completely start from scratch again. Gosh, I'm just feeling so sensitive today. I decided to look up an old friend of mine that I haven't talked to, or who, well, I should probably say, I feel like this friend does not want to talk to me. This old friend does not want to talk to me. It's been years since our friendship kind of broke up, and it's made me really sad. And I was thinking about it. I made a video. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm multitasking right now. I was talking about this friend. It came up in a video that a private video I made for somebody. You know who you are. And just for everybody else, I made a private video based on an email I received, which is something I'm thinking of doing more often. As I move forward with my brand, I think it'd be nice to offer things like, you know, video messages to you. And there's actually a company that was going to start offering that as a service that wanted to work with me. So I have to follow up with them. I forgot about that. Anyways, I was thinking about this friend and I was curious what she was up to. So I looked her up online, and what I didn't expect was to find out that like somebody else I know had collaborated with her on something. and it was just a few months ago, and I'm thinking, it just like felt weird to see that, because this person has chosen not to talk to me, and this other person, I just kind of felt weird to like see them together. It's almost like when you go through a breakup and you see your ex-boyfriend, your girlfriend dating somebody else, or like hanging out with friends of yours, and you're like, not that that's not allowed, because they can get together with whoever they want, but it's just like uncomfortable, because you're like, but I don't have that person in my life anymore. And it makes me a little sad to see that person with somebody else. I just feel like a lot of things are coming up from my past right now, and I wonder what that's all about. And I just feel, I don't know, things are just, little things are bumming me out. I was trying to resolve this business stuff today, and it feels like impossible. I don't know. Everything just feels so frustrating. Anyways, I see my friend. I just missed a call from a friend, so I'm gonna call her and talk out some more of my feelings with her, and simultaneously try to get some work done. I like to commend myself for being brave, and I want to remind you that it's important to be brave too. It's amazing how bravery is really relative to the situation that you're in and who you are. For me, being brave today was reaching out to my old business partner to try to resolve things, and like even just the energy, I reached somebody else in the office before I could talk to my old business partner, and there's just this energy that I don't know, maybe I'm just misinterpreting, or maybe I'm just projecting, and probably just projecting on my emotions and my fears and all that to them. But I did have that in contrast to something else. So I had called, this is such a long story, but I had to call something government related, tax related, to resolve the situation. And I was nervous about that and frustrated. And I ended up talking to somebody from the state tax office or whatever, and she was so nice. And I, at the end of the call, thanked her for being so nice, and she received it, and she said I was sweet of me to thank her. And I just thought, I feel like most of the times whenever I'm in any sort of government related situation, I'm so nervous about the way that I'm going to be treated, because most of us don't experience the best customer service, the kindest people. I feel like you have to really like sweeten them up in order to get them to be nice to you. This woman was just nice, and I just felt hopeful. And it's just such a reminder that the way that we treat other people can really, really impact them, even in ways that we may never expect or know that they need. And it just like hit me hard. I'm getting another phone call again, but that's my little update for now. I don't know where I left off or at what moment I was in with this process when I made my last clip, but it turns out the situation is a little bit more intense than I thought, which is really disappointing to hear. And I guess it's just a great learning experience. It's teaching me not to panic. It's teaching me to stay present. It's teaching me to know that everything will be okay and work out. And man, I guess sometimes we get what we ask for, and it's like you don't always get what you want, but you get what you need, because I've been just trying to like get into a flow financially, and this feels like it is a huge curveball, and not in a great way, or not in the way that I think it'll be great. I don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to get resolved, and I have to keep like staying positive about it, because yeah, it's just it's so crazy how everything is relative. And so again, like I don't want to share details, but, and I probably shouldn't anyways. Basically there was like one fee that like a small fee that I saw several months ago, and at the time I was like, oh, I didn't want to pay like anything. right? And it was like $40. And then a few days ago, I saw there was like a penalty for not registering something correctly. And that, I think as I mentioned in another video, that was like over 10 times the original fee. And that was really frustrating and overwhelming. And then today I found out I might actually be able to get that penalty waived. And because of that, it was really easy for me to pay another fee that was much lower because it was all relative, right? So what originally felt like a lot of money became very little money in my mind because I was focused on like this other big number, right? And now it's probably confusing because I'm not sharing the details with you, so bear with me. And then like within the past hour, I found out that we actually might owe like 10 times the big fee. So like little fee, medium fee, big fee. What I thought was the only fee several months ago turned out to be one fee of 3, or became that. And my point, without it getting too confusing, is that it's all relative. Money is so relative, and I'm trying to be really present to money and just not worry. Like what was worry for several days is now just like beyond the point of worry. It's like, you know what? It is what it is. Like money's just money, and what feels like a lot of money to me right now will probably not feel like a lot of money to me later, and it'll all get sorted out. And I'm doing the best I can. Like that's such an important lesson, because I think we stress out so much about money and we worry about making it and spending it, and we hold on to it, or I do. I should just say for myself, like I'll tend to hold on to things and I will save and I stress and blah, blah, blah. And I worry about worst case scenarios, and you know what? It's always works out. It always works out. And again, my financial situation is so relative and different from yours and anybody else's and people all around the world who are scraping by. Like we just have to be so grateful for anything that we have, because some people have nothing or so much less. And some people have so much more than us. And I don't know, I'm just, in this moment, I'm just not interested in stressing about money, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let it be and just figure it out moment by moment and be really, really present to it, and just gotta keep trusting that everything will work out. And if that's the lesson I meant to learn and pass on to you, then so be it. I've got some more work to do, but I just wanted to share that with you.